Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a lower bracket matchup of the Super Metroid Link to the Past Randomizer tournament. We've got Nightwolf 16 and Ancient Gamer against Flipheel and SP Ridley. And I'm joined by Jagger G. How you doing tonight, Jagger?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. We've got actually, you know what? I was going to say what teams people are on, but I'm not sure until the layout changes.
Yeah, Nightwolf and Ancient Gamers are on Regrets&All. Ancient Gamers will be on the bottom left side, Nightwolf on the top left. Flipheel and SP Ridley are on the team No Shields, and those screens will flip momentarily. And looks like we're off.
Yep, I would expect the standard for the tournament has been one runner to run into Super Metroid and one to go into Zelda, so I'd expect the same. For anyone who hasn't seen any of these tournament matches before, a quick explanation of how things work. This is one seed. All runners are running the same seed. The teams can communicate amongst themselves with what they find. So Ancient Gamers there, for example, can tell Nightwolf that he found some missiles on the floating island. And the goal is both players on a team have to finish, and that is the time. Ooh, and we've got a gravity suit in Morph Ball location.
Oh, that's very nice. Early on, it eliminates worries for potential suitless Meridia.
Got a mushroom in the ceiling. Meanwhile, Flip and Ancient Gamer are checking out Uncle and getting high jump boots.
One of these days, I need to figure out how to get that item in that ceiling reliably. That's kind of a tricky one. You gotta basically get damage boosted in the right direction, and kind of depends on various movement factors and inputs.
Yeah, I've been watching Zost do a wall jump to get up there, which is really crazy to do, and don't recommend anybody attempt it.
Maybe if you're capable of wall jumping up, worst room in the game without high jump, but eh.
We've got Flipheel heading to the castle dungeon, and we've got Ancient Gamer heading to the dam. Oh, there's magic powder in the castle dungeon, so that's not going to be any need for fake powder. I do believe Nightwolf gave up on getting that mushroom.
Yeah, it's not really. Well, I don't know. You kind of do want that mushroom early on, but it's difficult.
We got a space jump in the as the flooded item.
And Flipheel seems to have their own method to deal with that particular guard. It's kind of tricky going through Hyrule Castle with just bombs. There are like setups you can do. You can just kind of learn the guard patterns, and you can fairly reliably get the job done with just 5 bombs. But sometimes you miss once in a while.
Speaking of killing things with bombs, AG just took out the mini Moldworms with the bombs, and we'll see if he gets anything good here. A pack of super missiles isn't terrible, I suppose. Not great.
And Flipheel's method for the guards looked pretty reliable. It's a job well done, and like they took damage trying to bomb them, but that's not really that important because you get health refills in the lower room anyway.
And we saw that mushroom did turn into an ether medallion, so whether that's needed or
Interesting.
not, TBD.
So that's not gonna hurt. That's not gonna hurt Regrets and all. They're not gonna regret that right away for sure. So that's
Well, I
nice
do
for them.
believe Mega Man, Mega Man 2 NES cartridge said in chat that he did end up getting it, so they do have that mushroom.
Okay, cool. And looks like the green pendant today is in pod. A bit of French vanilla placement.
There's some power bombs in Josh Rawl's closet.
Those are definitely very nice for Super Metroid. You would ideally like 15 power bombs going into Super Metroid, just to kind of ensure you don't run out as you check all of the things. And a nice little morph ball in Sanctuary as well, I just noticed.
That was actually Spring Ball.
Spring Ball, sorry. I was thinking like that would be useful with morph ball. It's not itself a morph ball. Yes.
I was thinking the same thing. That would be great if they had morph ball. So as I mentioned, while we see some supers in the mushroom spot, this is a lower bracket match, which means the losers of this match are out of the tournament. So high stakes.
Steak.
Lumberjack looked like just missiles to me.
Yeah, I like the lumberjack play. I always go for it myself, but I've noticed in the Link to the Past standalone meta, players typically just skip that check entirely and just go straight to the Lost Woods.
I used to, not that anybody should take anything I say as having any clue of how to beat either of these games, but I used to like the checking it strategy, but after watching the tournament, I'm kind of sold on that if you don't have boots, you don't need to know it's there.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Especially at the start of like watching tournaments when I was just kind of new to the randomizers, I was kind of under the impression that if you check it and it's junk, it's basically the same as getting it, so you never have to come back anyway. And we see a mirror in the well in Kakariko. Unfortunately, Ridley does not have bombs to actually bomb open the wall. There's a pretty... I find personally that there are usually bombs available like in early checks, so I don't really mind this play going into the well and into Blind's house without bombs. But yeah, it's starting to bite them a little bit.
That was a plasma beam
Hookshot.
in the Ice Rod Cave, and yeah, hookshot in
Nice.
Blind's basement.
This doesn't feel too good having to orphan 2 bomb locations, but it's usually nothing. You found hookshot, you found mirror. I'd be reasonably confident in skipping those entirely, and my partner could just check them later.
That's what I was gonna say. With both the mirror being in the well and the hookshot being in Blind's hut, your partner's gonna need to go back to those locations anyways, and they can unorphan the items easy enough. There's the morph ball.
Morph ball. And I find usually, personally, if I find 3 major items, especially as major as mirror, hookshot, and morph ball in Kakariko, I usually like to just scout the race game item. And looks like Ridley is opting to check these bushes here. There is a 50-50 chance for a particular bush in that group to drop a bomb. So they're gonna reset after having picked up that bush and just try again.
And we saw on AG's side that there was in fact nothing of import in either of those 2 bombable item locations.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that much to the consternation, I'm sure, of some folks, this is another seed that will not be suitless Meridia. This is a hard logic seed, which means that there are various tricks in Super Metroid that may be required, such as suitless Meridia, CWGA to get to Wreck Ship, which that obviously also won't be needed. We still might need to do some hell runs.
Okay, I like this. Ridley farmed up their 8 bombs here, and in the I guess the broom closet, the janitor's closet in Kakariko, and hidden on south of Kakariko, just skipping those bomb checks entirely, just leaving them up to their partner. Their partner has 4 bombs. Looks like, I think that's 4 bombs. It might be 1, but it should be enough.
That does look like 4 bombs to me. I was gonna say it was a shovel on the library.
Interesting.
Could be huge, could be nothing.
And I know Regrets&All have a tendency to go to the Houlihan room right away. I'm assuming that Nightwolf did that shortly upon starting the seed and has 228 rupees to spend. And, basically assurance that they have money for bombs and they won't miss out on those checks, which is it seems like a good idea. I personally don't like it. There are just so many rupees in chests and in the item pool.
I don't know that we agree on anything, Jagger G, because I like the Houlihan play.
I'm a what's it called? A deviant. A little bit of an oddball.
In regular Zelda, I think I do agree that there's plenty of item locations, but with those extra 100 Super Metroid locations for rupees to be in, I really like having that extra 225.
Yeah, I like to gamble a little bit. Like, there are so many item locations in Super Metroid. You're going to check a ton of them as soon as you get Morph Ball. So, I honestly don't mind just skipping a lot, like several things in Sphere 1 and A Link to the Past if I get enough items in there already.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say that, watching Asi and Solski, I think that I don't think any of them do Houlihan, so you're probably in the more right than wrong category there.
Yeah, like it's a pretty, like Houlihan is I think it would be a great play in Key Sanity for SMZ3 especially, but it's kind of borderline for standard SMZ3. Like players still do it, and that's fine, and it makes a lot of sense. And we got Space Jump in the Drained Dam.
Yep, and we've seen Ancient Gamer's gone ahead and reset back to Super Metroid, so he's going to be checking, it looks like, not Alpha Power Bombs, Criteria Power Bombs first. Quick description, I guess, of anyone who has not seen SMZ3 before, if you're confused how they're now playing Super Metroid instead of Zelda. The 2 games have been merged, all of the items have been mixed up and scattered between the 2 games, and there's 4 places in the world you can go back and forth between the 2 games. And anytime you do a hard reset, you will end up back in Super Metroid, and you have to beat both games.
That's right. Technically speaking, this is one game that just kind of merges the 2. Like it's a singular ROM that just happens to not screw up either game with their memory usage. It was really convenient how it just happened to work out.
Yeah, I mean, it almost seems on some level that had to be intentional, but because yeah, it's so miraculous that they don't take up any memory that the other one uses.
What I heard is that Super Metroid kind of started from one end of the memory addresses, and A Link to the Past started on the other side, and there's just isn't overlap. So it was pretty funny. It's pretty great. And Ridley getting there, Plasma Beam and Flip Heel and Ancient Gamer are on their way into Super Metroid, doing their basically Sphere 2 checks with those power bombs and Morph Ball. Sphere 2.5, I guess. I don't know if you count power bombs as a separate sphere, but yeah, basically.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't remember if Agent Gamer checked and has that plasma and just hasn't turned it on. I don't think he checked ice. Or Ice Rod, rather. Ice being a Super Metroid location. They've got a lot of the game open in Super Metroid. That's one of the interesting things about Super Metroid is it does not take a lot of items to have a huge portion of the game open.
Yeah, I don't know if if Regrets and All actually know about Plasma being quite yet. Did Nightwolf go over to Mini Moldorm and or Ice Rod Cave?
Nope, he just grabbed his space jump and saved and quit.
So complicated. I know 2 of them went there because I saw SP Ridley go all the way over to Ice Rod Cave just now, and I'm assuming Flip Heel had told them about it.
Yeah, I do believe. Yeah, I think that it was the 2 on the right that had found plasma.
And I like this eastern area play. This typically in SMZ3 tends to have something, and a lot of times it's something that you kind of want early on. We'll see if we haven't already.
It's worth pointing out that I missed it, but I think we had a map check, and it looks like we had all crystals in the light world and desert and Hera as our 5/6 crystals, so we might see an earlier pyramid fairy.
Okay, so Russia's closet, unfortunately, kind of empty. Still don't really know about Eastern. I wouldn't feel too bad about orphaning Eastern just because of how much there was in Kakariko. But Ancient Gamer is finding silver arrows and an E-Tank up in Building Maze. That's kind of nice safeties to have in each game.
Yep, and we've got all 4 runners now in Super Metroid, which is, I'd say, pretty typical.
That gravity suit's going to help a lot. There are some dangerous times to the left of this check. Yeah, just this part of the room especially.
Yeah, these side hoppers do, I think, 80 damage per hit with the power suit.
Yeah, dramatically reduced. That's down to... Is it down to 20 with gravity? Something drastic.
Yeah, I was gonna say I only know the 80 number because I was watching a race and Eddie only had 2 energy tanks, and I think he died 3 or 4 times trying to go through there. It was not pleasant.
Yeah, they really hurt. It's really scary going in there with like no E-tanks. Even if you have the ammo to deal with them, if you're going in from the door on the left side, you have just barely enough time to kill the first one before it kills you. And Ancient Gamer, interesting play going into this room to farm fire fleas. It looks like. They must have their space jump. Yeah, I see the animation.
He's got space jump. Yep.
You do have a different spin jump animation when you get space jump. There isn't in vanilla. It's the same animation that plays during screw attack, so it's kind of hard to tell whether or not you have space jump if you have screw attack already. But there is an option in the randomizer when you roll the seed to get a seed with separated graphics for space jump and screw attack.
We got our first bottle at Alpha Power Bombs. Or at least I believe that was our first bottle at Alpha Power Bombs. We've got a sword at Green Bryn Supers. Early Supers.
Very nice. And Nightwolf into Fantoon already with that gravity suit, not really worried about taking damage from Fantoon. And 2 E-tanks to boot. This is going to be a breeze, relatively speaking. This is a real scary fight in combo rando with low, basically any % level items.
Yeah, you can be expected to do Fantoon. I'm not entirely sure what the logic requirements are, if there even are any, but you can be in here with 1, 2 E-tanks and no suits.
And that is terrifying. There is a way you can just farm when it's raining fire. Like if you don't shoot it right away, it just constantly rains fire, and you could just farm that fire. But it does, was it 40? Yeah, it's 40 damage per hit from the fireballs. So just don't get hit forehead.
We've got Spazer at Edikuns.
I'm not sure they're gonna want that now that they have plasma already, but maybe Ancient Gamers might pick it up if they haven't picked up plasma already.
And Nightwolf gets Fantoon down.
I like this team matchup, by the way. The Regrets&All team are basically Super Metroid mains, but I know especially Ancient Gamer has a great deal of experience with the Link to the Past as well. And over on Team No Shield's side, a bit of a misplacement on a power bomb, but Flipeel is typically more comfortable in a Link to the Past. Pretty solid Link to the Past player, and Ridley is more geared towards Super Metroid, so they're kind of rounded out in their team. So this definitely is a pretty close matchup, like on paper, and we'll see how it shakes out.
Ancient Gamer getting to stand up on grade.
Yep.
For some power bombs.
Getting the big the general crate, some much needed exercise. Has been cramped up in this tiny room for a long time.
I always assume that poor Mini Crate is just like, curse you for killing me, and I finally had my chance.
And really taking down Fantoon as well. They're, this kind of makes a lot of sense with gravity and space jump. Wrecked ship definitely sounds like a pretty logically directed play. Like the seed just kind of gave you everything you really want for it, and Spring Ball as well. It'll let you save a bunch of power bombs here.
Yeah, so far for really all 4 runners, that sword is the only thing of real value I suppose we found.
This is pretty interesting. Ancient Gamer did go through, like, just kind of cut through the middle of Brinstar and went straight down to Upper Norfair. It's given that that both players are kind of SM mains, it makes sense that they would kind of split up the checks you're going to go to anyway. So Nightwolf is likely, as well as SP Ridley probably, are going to be going down, probably down Red Tower and looping back up through Green Brinstar.
And just as I say, they haven't found anything. AG found the Power Glove and the flippers at High Jump.
Oh, very nice. It's going to open up Back of Escape and the Zora as well. Zora area.
Yep, we are of course still looking for either another glove or the hammer and that Moon Pearl. AG gonna check out Death Mountain. There's quite a few checks he can do here with the hook shot.
Ooh, we got a gravity and assembly slot. assembly line in the top right of the ship.
Yep, so that's both suits for Nightwolf. So that pretty much puts now everything in Super Metroid is in logic.
Did I say gravity again? I meant Varia.
I wasn't gonna point it out.
Double gravity. How are they ever gonna climb worst room in the game?
Now, would like the second gravity cancel out the first gravity?
Would it increase or decrease the gravity? So many questions, I don't even know.
Some modder needs to make it happen.
It'd just be like other M style where you're just stuck on the ground.
Nightwolf, you probably have Spring Ball? Okay, he remembers he has Spring Ball. Excellent.
It's really hard to remember you have Spring Ball. And items in general, like forgetting you have bombs. One match I forgot I had Grapple Beam and I was just farming some enemies with, like, just waiting for them to come out.
Paradox
Okay.
Cave has a heart, a bomb capacity upgrade, a missile pack, another missile pack, and 50 rupees. What a crappy Paradox Cave.
So Ancient Gamer's going to do a bit of a bomb jump here. So there's a bit of a trick to lining this up. If you line up along the bottom, just like kind of skirt the top edge of those pointy tiles and then walk left, the edge will actually prevent you from walking left off of the cliff. It'll actually push you down and to the right when you try to go too far left. So it actually kind of aligns you perfectly on the right pixel, just kind of for free.
Yeah, that's a pretty good bomb jump to learn if you are playing some Zelda Rando. Ancient Gamer taking the slow walk through Spiral Cave.
Yeah, you could also do that bomb jump as Ancient Gamer does and just be a pro and get the pixel perfectly and nail it.
I know from listening to one of his commentaries that Ancient Gamer gets some sound advice from his son, so
Yeah.
it's a family affair.
Now, Rickship did have Varia, so that's gonna be very beneficial down in Norfair. They're gonna get so many checks. They can actually already go down to lower Norfair. Not much ammo at the moment, so they might not want to go there yet until they're able to take on Ridley, but we'll see what they do. They may just route down there and go to Gold Terizo and Screw Attack, and then leave through Mire and just continue on into Link to the Past. That would be a neat route.
Back of Escape was nothing, and we've got more stand-up grade on Flip Heel's side.
Classic DLC. A lot of people are fans of this.
I really appreciate both Flip Heel and Ancient Gamer giving the crowd all of the extra content.
Mm-hmm.
As I see Malacris pointing out in chat, I do believe that Pearl could be in Checkerboard Cave. I think that is in logic.
Absolutely, yeah. I've seen it several times, frankly. A few too many times.
If the randomizer does not care if it puts an item in an easy or difficult to get to location, it only cares, is it possible?
Pretty much. This is the hard logic for Super Metroid, so it could require even harder than usual tricks. Although with Gravity Suit and Varia Suit, it won't and space jump. That's kind of nullified at this point.
Just 10 arrows at Terminator. Ancient Gamer is going to get his Ether Medallion.
Yeah, so hard logic doesn't necessarily guarantee that the seed is going to be hard. Sometimes it's just free.
AG's got enough cash, he's going to go up and check the Zora items with those flippers.
Oh yeah, that's a good point in chat. Sometimes A Link to the Past could be a bit of a struggle no matter what difficulty you play. We only have Fighter Sword at the moment and Green Mail, so although Ancient Gamer does have 7 hearts, so won't be too bad. There's some more supers for them.
Yeah, and AG of course doesn't have any sword at all right now. But I do think it is worth pointing out that, as you were talking about this being a hard logic seed, that has absolutely no effect on Zelda. It is not like the recent Link to the Past tournament. You can get silvers, you can get red mail, you can get all 20 hearts. Doesn't mean you will, but you can.
One of these days, we're gonna get a mode with A Link to the Past tricks and logic, like fake flippers and dark rooms and whatnot. That'll be fun.
Personally, I'd like an easy mode for Super Metroid that doesn't require infinite bomb jumps, because I cannot do infinite bomb jumps to save my life.
There are a couple of ways to do infinite bomb jumps. There's a way where you just place a bomb as close to your previous bomb as possible and you just climb up like inch by inch. There's another really tough way where you do double bomb jumps. You kind of place a bomb and then place 2 bombs as you're like bouncing upward, and you just go up like 2 or 3 times faster. It's pretty nice, but it's really inconsistent. But inching your way up little by little, it kind of feels painful, and it's for the longer bomb jumps is really nerve-wracking, but it's not so bad.
AG
At least in short distances.
showing us just some missiles on the desert ledge. Flip Heel getting his junk out of the back of Escape. And he's going to go ahead and do the dark rooms to get to Dark Cross. So it's looking like there's a strong case for Norfair being where the progression is, I think.
Yeah, it seems pretty likely with that Varia suit being found. This could be a Super Metroid heavy seed, but we really haven't found that much for A Link to the Past. We got Glove and we got Hookshot and Mirror. We don't have Hammer, we don't have Moon Pearl, we don't have Flute, we only have 1 sword. No boots, no bow. A lot of things are missing right now.
Yeah, we should see on Flip Heel's side, since he has that sword, he might dive into Hera and if depending on whether the hair is fire locked or not, there could be progression in there.
Sure, yeah.
I think AG is gonna go grab his sword. Ridley's picked up his silver arrows, so both teams know where silver arrows are now.
Yeah, there's quite a few Link to the Past places still yet to be checked, and as pointed out in chat, Eastern hasn't been dipped yet. Desert is actually logically accessible through Lower Norfair and mirroring. That's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it's a little surprising. I mean, I guess with so much of Super Metroid open, it's not that surprising, but usually you see one team take that early dive in Eastern.
It's more interesting than those seeds where you just get instant Dark World access, and then you just kind of have decision paralysis.
Yeah, I missed this when AG was up there, but there was a Master Sword on the floating island.
He also got a second Samus on his screen just in case, you know, you can never be too safe. Although that one doesn't have suits. Better be careful, AG.
That one was also doing some, I think, non-Super Metroid approved dance moves.
Yeah, we'll have to defer to the judges on that one. But we'll just let the seed play out. Ridley's going to be checking their nothing on X-ray and getting some power bomb refills along the way. It's with the Varia suit in tow, there's going to be a lot of just getting power bombs, not even checking the item.
I believe
maybe
Flipio
they already did.
checked it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But yeah, getting those extra power bombs is really smart. For sure, you want power bombs going into anywhere, really. Crade's area, you need at least one. It would be nice to have two to check the item. You're probably going to need some on the way out, although Crade's probably going to give you some.
Flipio giving us a Dark World map check. We've got a green pendant in Pod and a red pendant in Mire, and I did not see where the other pendant was.
I ate it, I'm sorry.
Nuts. So apparently the runners will have to be going to Jagger G's stomach tonight, if the pedestal is required.
I noticed Flipio actually did a thing there on Death Mountain where you go around the portal, and that actually going into the portal from the right side just kind of guarantees you get the camera aligned in just the right pixel. He kind of came in from the top, but it still worked, and it actually just cuts off the animation for warping by 30 frames. It just saves half a second by going on the other side of it. And this works in a few portals. In the one next to Kakariko, you just go to the left of it. Right outside Link's house, you just go to the left of that. And just going on certain sides of certain portals just saves you half a second every time.
We've got Ridley checking Mama Turtle. Desert was fire locked. The big key is in the basement. Didn't look like anything was at Mama Turtle for Ridley.
The trick also works if you're using the mirror, but it's just it's finicky to line up. There aren't really good lineups for it. You just kind of have to look carefully.
Yep, and as chat's pointing out, there is an item in the big chest in Hera, so Flip Heel is going to be orphaning an item for now. Again, in co-op mode, orphaning is oftentimes not as bad as if you're playing by yourself, because your partner is going to have to come back and kill Moldorm, and you can just wait until you have a fire source to do it, unless there's something super important on Moldorm.
Right, there is that bonk lineup on Catfish. Good point. If you bonk into the wall while you're throwing a rock into Catfish, as long as you're in the air when the Catfish comes out, you line up perfectly with a quick warp. It's a lot of really minor tech that just adds up a ton in A Link to the Past. It's really nice. It's a really deep game.
I always thought people were just doing that to be swag. I didn't realize it actually made them warp faster.
Yeah, it actually saves half a second.
Well, speaking of huge items being on Moldorm, there's the flute on Moldorm.
Nice. You'll also notice people charge up their sword and do a spin slash when they collect crystals and stuff. That's mostly, I think, muscle memory from like NMG stuff. I don't think it really applies to Rando, but like it does save on lag frames during the Crystal Maiden interactions. A lot of swag that actually saves time. It's such a great speed game.
Well, it says something. I've been watching Rando for probably 4 or 5 years at this point, and I still tune in and watch every Rando tournament I can. I love me some Zelda.
Absolutely. Ancient Gamer's going for another strat where you just jump up on this. Okay, well, it's not really that big a time save, so he's just going to bail out on it, but you could just jump on one of those blocks and then press up, and then you're just aligned perfectly to just let yourself jump through the ceiling. Speaking of jumping through the ceiling, yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Ridley's setting up a clip here with, I forget what these little guys are called, but he's going to attempt to clip through the 2 pieces of the world above and check the 2 speed booster items. There's an exact, I think it's an exact pixel you have to get this guy on.
Yeah.
That's too high.
That might just be a hair too high. Yeah, you can kind of wing it, but like if you're kind of inexperienced, it needs to be lower than you would think it has to be. You need enough space that the game will allow you to jump, but it is pixel perfect. That might be good. Oh, it's close. Maybe a pixel too low.
Yeah, too high now?
Yeah. If you can't jump at all, it's definitely too high. If you can't unmorph, it's absolutely too high.
There we go.
There we go. It's a real tough one, especially for like a lot of people in the tournament struggle with it.
Yep, unfortunately doesn't reap any rewards other than knowledge that was a load of junk.
That's unfortunate. It's a funny quirk about video games where you can move as long as there's space to move. And as long as you're on the other side of collision before the next frame, or on the next frame of movement, then there's nothing stopping you from continuing on through walls.
Yep, welcome to SpeedGaming 2. You've just been tuned into a lower bracket match for the Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer tournament. We're about 45 minutes in, and we've got folks all over the place.
We've got a lot of Super Metroid open. This, well, minus charge beam and or ammo, they might actually be in Super Metroid Go mode in general. But they have space jump, they have gravity suit, Varia suit, and they just need to find basically almost everything for A Link to the Past now.
Yeah, Flip Heal is, I think, close to being in ammo Go mode.
It's funny, they actually don't need mirror or flippers technically, but they already have them. Swamp Palace maybe, but no Moon Pearl yet. We'll find out if that's going to be in play.
Yeah, that's kind of the big question to the seed right now is where is that Moon Pearl?
I love a good seed where there's really well hidden orbs.
I mean, really, the lack of Zelda progression is kind of stunning for how, being 45 minutes into the seed, and we've got the Power Glove.
Yep, pretty much it. They do have Dark World access through Meridia, but not really full Dark World access unless they... I don't know if they have a bug net, but a fairy is an option to traverse the Dark World with Super Bunny. If they can bunny revive, if they can get revived from a fairy while jumping into water, that's a way in. But it would be horribly out of logic, and I wouldn't recommend it. Moon Pearl isn't going to be there.
Ancient Gamer picking up the can of Burna at Crab Supers. So Meridia was a lot of nothing. Ridley did not end up going back to Dragon, but probably wants more ammo before he tackles Dragon. But the front of Meridia, junk. Can't go to Dragon. Good point. Don't have Ice Beam. Don't have Speed Booster.
As per usual with Super Metroid, well, like Nintendo games in general, there's always a way. There is a Crystal Flash clip that is technically possible, but I don't think these players are going to be going for it.
Also not logic, I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely not. No. I guess that is true that they wouldn't have Dark World access that way.
They should make a insane logic mode where doing super hard tricks like that can be required.
Yeah. Having to dupe the big bomb to be able to swim across to deliver it to the pyramid without hammer.
You don't need the hammer, just to Aghanim.
Yeah. I'm sure people have done it.
So we've got Nightwolf heading into Lower Norfair.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of hoping to see eventually. I know they had a lot of things to check beforehand, but this definitely feels like where the seed wants them to go.
I am surprised they didn't check Bubble Mountain first. I guess you could make the case with his ammo count that he can kill Ridley and do Bubble Mountain on the way out.
Yeah, I really like that play. It's just you're gonna go out that way anyway. Just a bit of a safety save first. Although they do have gravity and Varia, it's 3 E-tanks still isn't that much for lower Norfair.
AG is going to be doing his ice clip. Flip Peel's heading off to knock out the wrecked ship.
Very nicely done snail clip by Ancient Gamer. It's just junk, but that saves a bit of time for their team versus no shields.
And it's just good peace of mind knowing, okay, I didn't orphan something and we don't have to come back here when we find Speed Booster.
For sure.
Nightwolf's gonna fight GT.
Makes sense with space jumps being so early. This check does logically require the space jump. And as per usual, there is technically a way with X-ray and Speed Booster of all things to clip through the floor, but we're not going to see that this tournament. Prove me wrong, someone, please. That would be awesome. We've seen one Crystal Flash clip through Crumble blocks already. So it's been a pretty good tournament so far.
Yep, and so Nightwolf reset out of GT, it looked like.
Right, that's why that save was so important. I see. Makes sense. I kind of want to save your supers for more important things. I've got bigger pelicans to fry. Maybe not quite yet. They're going into Meyer first.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Solid play.
And also check the screw attack item. I think there's been a race in this tournament where Moon Pearl was at the screw attack item.
Yeah. And oh yeah, it was Master Sword on the screw attack, so that's going to be nice for Desert. Although I don't think they have a fire source right now, but I guess yeah, they would need fire source to get to Land Mullows, but
we see Bombos required for Misery Buyer. That means we never want to see the Bombos medallion.
Yep.
Just some supers in Checkerboard Cave for
yeah.
those that were rooting for the Moon Pearl.
I at least now know the importance of supers, especially for lower Norfair. It's not an item you would want to nope out on at well, he does have 35. I'm sure he can fight Ridley with just 30 and be fine, but hey, why not? You don't have Charge Beam. You might not find Charge Beam before you deal with Mother Brain later, so take all the supers you can get for now.
We've got Nightwolf doing a mirror bounce to attempt to get Super Bunny. I think that if you mirror on the same or one frame before you enter,
on the same frame.
It's on the same frame.
Yeah, it'll just let you open chests and slash your sword and use boots if you have them. But most importantly, being able to check these two items without Moon Pearl is just a nice peace of mind for now.
Yep, can cross off the list for AG. Aside from that sword, no reason to go anywhere near GT.
I feel like nowadays that's kind of more the Super Bunny Cave of SMZ3. Because there is Super Bunny Cave on East Dark Death Mountain that it's so called because you will always get Super Bunny State when you pass through there. Because you get Super Bunny State whenever you fall down holes into transitions. So those are kind of free checks that are not in logic, but basically you can just always do them. Like You could even accidentally get them if you want.
Yep, and there's the big news. We've got the Moon Pearl in the Norfair Reserve. So I was personally rooting for Moon Pearl behind Ridley, so I'm a little disappointed.
Norfair Reserve, okay. It's going to be a while before they find that interesting.
Didn't look like Nightwolf's found anything of importance in Desert. I did not see if Desert was boots locked. Like big key on
I didn't catch
torch,
it. Okay.
I believe is what chat's saying.
They said key on torch might be a small. Okay, so yeah, logically, a big key is locked behind torch at least. So they're gonna need to come back for that later.
Looks like AG, I think he's gonna go turn in that bottle. So one of the skills that's really important in this tournament is kind of routing between teammates. You don't want to be necessarily doing the same thing at the same time because that's wasteful, because the way the scoring in this works is it's whoever finishes second is what your team score is. So one runner finishing super fast and runner finishing super slow is not a way to win this match. So it's interesting to see how these teams route and how they decide where to send people, because you really want to keep it as close between your two team members as possible, while obviously not wasting time. So it looks like AG is going to head into Eastern, I think.
And Ridley is doing a very popular play, fighting off Crocomire and showing that sometimes it is possible to hit Crocomire when his mouth is open. I did see one of those supers just collide right into the wide open jaw, like the huge open space. It just said nope.
I always wonder how Crocomire gets from way on the right to way on the left. Like, is there a strong current in the lava?
Probably has more fall. I don't know.
Oh, that's a sprite I want to see now as a custom sprite super Metroid that's Crocomire.
Might have the mini croc sprite.
I've never seen that there's actual bubbles in the lava. I'm gonna have to pay attention next time somebody does Croc.
Yeah, the acid kind of bubbles up as it progresses from right to left. You can kind of see it pass by underneath if you're just waiting at the spikes.
I've probably seen Croc die 1,000 times and never noticed that. Yeah, it's unfortunate where that morph ball is we know that Nightwolf is going to find it. Yeah, that's what I meant. Is Moon Pearl, good catch. It's just going to take him a while to get there, and it's a question of what is AG, is he really being productive while we wait for them to find that Moon Pearl?
Yeah, and there's a lot for him to do. They find Ice Beam right there in Eastern. Unfortunately, unable to complete the dungeon right now, but well, who knows? They might find Vanilla Bow. I've had that as go mode before. It was pretty gross. Or not. Okay.
It's probably Bow and Pendant Pod.
Yeah, that Yeah, I was gonna say that wouldn't be a bad play, but it would be without Moon Pearl.
Well, it'd also be really, really hard for him to get there with no hammer or mitts.
Unless you Crystal Flash kill it into Batuan and then go through and do the bunny revival on the water and then cross the lake, and I don't think that gives you Super Bunny. And even if it does, I think it gets taken away. I don't know.
Either way, Nightwolf is doing Ridley. He'll have his Moon Pearl in the not so distant future.
Yeah, this isn't going to take long. To 30 super missiles to Ridley. Super missiles do double damage to Ridley, Fantoon, and I think Dragon as well. And normally they do 300 damage. On Ridley, it does 600. With 18,000 health, it is now dead and just needs to grab you for the death animation. And it's one dead Space Pelican.
Yep, of course, the trick with Dragon is while he does take double damage from super missiles, if he does not die... Ooh, Speed Booster! If Dragon does not die to the super missile, he gets really mad and wastes a lot of time.
Oh, Fantoon, yeah.
That's what I meant. I can't keep the bosses straight. You can't keep the suits straight. What a good combo.
That's why there are two of us. And several people in chat.
Yep, and two amazing trackers. I do think I forgot to mention them at the start of the race, and I feel pretty terrible about that. We've got Sanders316 doing tracking, and we've got Epi37 doing tracking, and they're both doing a real bang-up job. Tracking is, I always say, way harder than talking.
Yeah, for sure. I struggle with tracking, but I mean, it's these volunteers do a great job. And definitely shout outs to the volunteers to watch and comment on the race and correct everything we do in chat. Much appreciated. Chat is best commentator and tracker. Master Sword for Ridley, and they're on their way into desert. With Moon Pearl, we don't know what where the Bombless Medallion is, so they won't have Myra access, which is kind of nice for them.
AG's taken that ice beam he got out of Eastern right into Dragon.
Oh, there we go. That's how he gets Dark World access, but he doesn't have a fairy, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate he doesn't have that Moon Pearl. That's gonna feel real bad if that is the intended Dark World access, is to go through Meridia, and he has to come all the way back here.
Well, like you said, he does have the option to do Aghanim instead. No one's going to do Aghanim instead.
That was a Cane of Samaria on the Spring Ball Maze item. And a Tempered Sword on Franker Z. So
Pretty
that
nice.
is all 4 swords that we know where they are.
And unfortunately, with this low health, it's a good idea to just like deal with these key hunters from below. A neat property with the beams is that if any part of the beam can pass around a wall, then the entire beam will stay intact and will still hit the key hunter through the ceiling. And if you're too far left, there's a risk of the key hunter actually swooping down in that one tile gap and just killing them outright. But he gets through, and he's well on his way to his Moon Pearl.
We've got both Ridley and Flip Heel in essentially the same place, which is a little surprising.
Well, they did kind of get funneled here. They'll be splitting up pretty shortly after. Like if you're doing something, like if you're progressing the game, that's fine to just kind of pair up.
Yep, you
just really don't want to do the same checks at the same time.
Right, and I mean you've got to kill Ridley, so you both have to come in this general area. And
although you could kind of like split off and kind of Swiss cheese the routing, just combine it with each other and save each other time as you both progress in the same route. That's not so bad. That's a good kind of compromise.
Flip Heel's farming up some supers. Nightwolf is very close to his Moon Pearl. Ancient Gamer's taking on Dragon. Dragon go boom. Boy, killing these gold pirates with missiles takes a while.
Yeah, they do take double damage from. I believe these take double damage from supers. So I believe it's. Oh, I don't know how much damage the gold pirates. Is it 3 supers for them?
That sounds right to me. I did not see what was behind Dragon, but I don't see anything on the tracker lit up, so I'm assuming the answer is nothing. Was just missiles, chat says. So pretty much nothing. Chat pointing out that Nightwolf also found the morph bombs. I missed where those were, but those are always handy to find. With 20 power bombs, you're not likely to soft lock yourself, but still, it's nice to get them.
Lauren Norfer also had Samaria. Maybe that was the jail area?
That was Spring Ball Maze.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Kind of unfortunate that they weren't sooner. They won't really benefit from the morph ball bombs so much. Maybe against the Metroids if they accidentally get grabbed.
Yep, I expect AG is going to head to Lower Norfair to get his Moon Pearl and Cane of Samaria. For as open as this seed started, it's really starting to get pretty closed into very few areas. Well, I guess that's not true. I guess that technically they do have a lot of the Dark World open through Meridia. That's just a really bad option. Nobody wants to take that. And
Yeah, it might not.
I was just gonna say I've got to watch for the bubbles again.
Yeah, it might not be so bad to go through Meridia if you haven't been through there before. Unfortunately, it would kind of suck for ancient gamers because they've already kind of been there twice, I think, or at least once.
Interesting, the AG is he's going straight for that Moon Pearl. He's not even going to bother doing Ridley first.
Ridley making sure they have all the ammo they could get for the Ridley fight. I don't blame them.
Yep, and neither of them should have any troubles with Ridley with those ammo and health counts. They're both pretty healthy and they're both loaded.
So Ridley is a pretty tough fight for beginners, but there are kind of ways to manipulate his movement. Basically, whenever it's pogoing, if you get it over to the right side and then roll under this tail and then kind of jump up in the air. If you jump high enough, you can actually make Ridley just turn around and pogo in a more favorable direction. And Ridley is down for Ridley.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what... Oh, I think Flip is farming power bombs.
Looks like it. I wouldn't mind some crystal flash ammo on the way out. Nope, just getting some extra ammo in general. Right, they're about to take on Ridley as well. Okay, I thought they were on their way out. No, they're just getting a couple extra supers.
Yep, an Ancient Gamer is heading down to Lower Norfair, it looks like.
And you definitely want supers on the way out, not necessarily to escape Lower North or to get out of like this kind of area you're in, but probably more likely to get to the Mire area. If they want to go to A Link to the Past, that would be the faster option, especially since they don't have Speed Booster. Just to dive through the acid and amphitheater. It takes a couple of E-tanks, especially if they have Gravity Suit, Gravity and Varia Suit, and Space Jump. It doesn't take that much health off. But it would be nice to have Crystal Flash ammo, but they don't really need it.
We'll see if Nightwolf is going to head straight into the Dark World or if he's going to do Dragon first. Hour and 15 minutes in, and we have one runner has done one crystal.
Oh wait, Speed was behind Ridley?
Yep, Speed was behind Ridley.
Well, still. It's still faster to get to Link to the Past through Mire. Looks like they're just going through... I guess they're going to be getting their sword back here. And an E-tank, might as well. So you only technically need 3 E-tanks to beat Mother Brain in the end, but It is kind of nice to have at least 7. There is the option, if you find Charge Beam, you can do a glitch where you can stand up during the Metroid latching on cutscene, and you could just deal damage to Mother Brain while it's recovering. You have a much shorter Phase 3 fight once you actually finish the cutscene.
Yep, AG's picking up some extra supers. I think that they're starting to think about doing Mother Brain without having charge. There's not a lot of locations left in Super Metroid. I can think of Shack Tool, I can think of Plasma. I'm not sure there's anything else left to check.
And Dark World just opened up for everyone, so we may have a huge scavenger hunt in Link to the Past now. We still have a lot of items we need. A lot? How many? We need mitts, we need hammer. We need fire rod?
Ice Rod.
Ice rod, okay.
Boots. Possibly
Yeah, a lot of
medallion.
items. Possibly.
I will be interested to see if anybody picks up that gold sword on the floating island. Not a huge difference between tempered and gold, and if you're really good at Ganon, I don't believe that it actually saves any time.
Right.
That said, I suck at A Link to the Past, so I would totally go pick it up.
Yeah, in that location, it might be worth for Ganon alone. It's kind of iffy. But it does help against other bosses. Like Trinex is nice to have against Trinex. It doesn't save much time, but it does save time. So those 2 bosses alone, I think, would probably be worth. And then on top of that, there's the Gauntlet, which is just convenient to have butter for. It does extend the range of your slash as well, on top of just being stronger in general.
And Dragon's down for Nightwolf, so as far as Super Metroid goes, there's just the 2 checks I mentioned and Mother Brain, and that'll be everything, but he's gonna go to the Dark World. Where do you go first, Jagger G?
They're gonna be going in through Meridia, so probably Pod. It is a pendant. It's up to them if they're feeling like they need to put off Pod and just dive crystal dungeons. They could actually go all the way to probably Graveyard Ledge and just loop down to Thieves Town, Village of Outcast area. It's a very dense area. Pod has a lot of checks, but you kind of just are hoping to just never go there.
Starting off with a catfish, it looks like.
Especially when they don't have bow. It's kind of hard to go for a pod play if you haven't picked up a potion, especially. Then they just don't really have easy access to the bow locked side. There's a way you could clip the mimics through a wall and then just have them off the screen so the door opens, but it's time consuming.
Chat making a good point. Nightwolf came right where Plasma was and did not mirror to that Ice Rod cave to check that. That's kind of surprising that they're just going to orphan that check, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see if maybe AG checks it when he gets in that area.
Yeah, this late in the game is kind of easy to forget that you haven't checked that yet.
We know Bo's not vanilla because AG has already checked it.
Yep, this map, unfortunately. There was something there.
Ice Beam.
Ice Beam, yes. Thank you.
AG messed up his farm on the bugs a little bit, so they're a little uneven. Gets 30 supers and says, "That's all I need."
Yep.
Alright, in his last match, AG had a really stressful time with Ridley. Let's see, hopefully he gets an easy fight this time.
Yeah. I did go in with 30 supers this time, so he'll actually have a reasonably accurate count.
If he has missed once that I've seen.
Yeah, I was gonna tease him after his previous fight. Like, I mean, I was gonna say like it's flattering that he's copying my strats, but you don't want to copy my Ridley fight.
Not quite dead yet, apparently.
My strat typically involves like jumping into Ridley over and over and hoping it's already dead, and being wrong but being right, and then getting lucky.
That seems to be the strategy AG is going for this time. Okay.
Got it. Yeah, there you go.
Yep, Flipio found the myth somewhere that I completely missed. Waterway? Yep, myths at Waterway.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah,
that's gonna give them Dark World access the normal way.
Yeah, that's real bad for Regrets&All.
Maybe Ancient Gamer may be kind of put off by going into Meridia second or third time, so that they may actually go check the speed booster checks right now. We'll see. But yeah, it could be really bad for them, or they could just like nail the decision.
I mean, I kind of think if you sit and think about the logic the seed might have been pointing you in, it does point you towards that Waterway check.
Yeah, a little bit with that gravity suit Varia space jump to get to Low Nerfer to find speed booster. It makes sense. We got Ice Rod and Graveyard Ledge. Oh, we haven't seen that on Team No Shield side. That could be pivotal as well, since they already been to Pyramid and Catfish area and then just presumably 7 quid out from there. So they haven't actually checked this yet. And it's a little bit out of the way, especially without boots.
AG's got himself in a bit of a pickle here.
Oh no.
He's
okay, he did beat Ridley. All right.
He did save. Yeah, he just saved, but he saved with 63 health.
He's fine. What's the worst that could go wrong? Of all the things that could go wrong, I think he'll be okay with this. Just needs to play it a little bit safer. I know he can get through this. I know Nightwolf knows he can get through this. I'm sure he'll be able to talk him down, and we'll recover from this. He's dancing. They will eventually die to Plasma Beam. Plasma Beam... Oh, they don't have Plasma Beam, though. Do they have Spazer?
I do believe he has Spazer. Nightwolf had Spazer, I guess I should say. I don't know if I don't think he has Spazer.
Yeah, I saw him using regular ice. Yeah, this regular ice beam. Unless he just unequipped it. Yeah, that makes sense why he wouldn't be trying to kill them.
Does missiles, they don't work?
They do. Well, I don't know about regular missiles actually. Super missiles work, but it takes a lot of. I want to say it takes like 6 per key hunter.
I'd almost like to see him go back.
Missiles don't. Okay, unfortunate.
Lower Ridley and farm. Lower Ridley, back to buy Ridley and farm.
Okay, got through the first key hunter, took a hit. So then, okay, the top 2 key hunters could cooperate better, and they did this time. It just needs to get a little, get some more health here. I'm gonna get health bombed. When you're at low health, Super Metroid typically tries to give you health drops.
I believe there's an energy tank right
yes,
here. Yep.
He is basically saved. He's
We've
pretty
got
much out of this.
Go ahead, sorry.
I'm just saying he's pretty much out of this this predicament.
Oh no, we've got Bombos and Hookshot Cave and a lamp. Lamp good, Bombos
Okay.
bad.
Interesting. They're getting the Bombos and lamp from there, but not getting the sword from the. Wait, was it Hylia Island or Skyloft?
Skyloft, yep, so if he was gonna
Okay.
get the sword, he would have gotten it.
I definitely would have gotten it in this particular situation when you have 6 crystal dungeons to go.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, is with how much of the game is left to clear, why not?
Especially when you're already checking that.
Third battle in the bombable hunt in Village of Outcasts, I believe.
And I know player psychology is pretty rough in tournament situations. I'm sure Regrets&All are feeling really flustered with Ancient Gamer would be having to deal with those key hunters, but I think they're at a potential advantage at this point. Potentially, depending on whether they find mitts in Waterway. Like sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's definitely something that has pretty big ramifications on the match.
And we see Flip Heel over in Skull Woods. We'll see if they route in Graveyard Ledge check afterwards. A bit of a decisive moment for Ancient Gamer here is going through this Frog Speedway, about to decide if they go to the Link to the Past or if they continue on for the Speed Booster checks in Super Metroid. They are continuing in Super Metroid. Well, actually, no. Scratch that. Sorry. Meridia would be the way into Dark World. They're doubling back into Light World. Oh, smart.
He might. I think he's going for it.
Even better, yeah. Going into Link to the Past, whenever you transition games, you do actually save at the ship during that transition. So that just takes them right back to the ship where they can get much quicker access to the. There's the climb supers in the old Mother Brain section, and the waterway is a bit out of the way, but well, this is probably the most convenient way to go there when you have climb supers already to check.
Yeah, an interesting route. He could do he could do Mother Brain first. It doesn't look like he's going to.
Hasn't done Dragon yet. So,
Oh,
wait, he
point.
has done Dragon. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He did the ice clip. My mistake. You are right.
Yep, although we usually see both bosses killed pretty much one after another in terms of Ganon and Mother Brain, you don't have to do that. You can kill Mother Brain as soon as you've got G4 down.
Yeah, you know, I keep wanting to do this check right after Mother Brain because you pass right by here. Unfortunately, since Mother Brain's Rainbow Beam drains your ammo, you just don't have power bombs to come here afterwards.
Oh, good point. I hadn't. Yeah, the lack of ammo would make my suggested route not work.
I've done that route twice, and I forgot both times.
He's gone to Waterway. The
Good.
downside of
Very
this, and I guess this isn't much of a downside at this point, is they're never going to get that plasma. That said, I don't really know that it matters.
Yeah, hopefully they'll probably have 60 supers at least for Mother Brain, and I'm sure it'll be fine. But that'll be unfortunate. Yeah, it's like the main issue with not getting plasma is that they'll need to rely on their ammo count for Turian. They need to get the drops they need on the on the regular Metroids, and then they'll need to potentially like use regular missiles on the doors and Zeptites. Well, no, they have Ice Beam, so they could skip the Zeptites, but they may need to go back and refill their missiles. But it's pretty minor, honestly.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the comms when AG finds this power glove.
Nice. That's a godsend for them. They have not lost that advantage. And I just noticed on Flip Heel side, they have Ice Rod tracked, so they did actually find their Ice Rod. So both teams are looking good. They haven't orphaned those important checks, those critical checks.
And it sounds like the bow was in Super Bunny Cave, and I also see that Flip Heel found Charge Beam.
Oh wow. Oh, double bombos for the medallion requirement. Interesting.
Alright, well, the team on the right knows where Bombos is. I've long since forgotten where it is, but...
It was
a
Hookshot Cave.
Good, that's right.
Of course, right under the mat.
So just like that, we're down to needing the fire rod, the boots, and the hammer.
Good heads-up play from Ancient Gamer. Power bombing the wall to the Mother Brain escape to be able to shine spark up the shaft instead of wall jumping up.
And there's the boots on the top of Thieves Town.
Very nice. Let's go fast. And that's going to be... Okay, they're just taking this right to Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave on Regrets&All side. This is really good for them. And this is a pretty close race up until this point for sure.
Yeah, if you were to ask me to which team is in the lead, I personally don't think I could tell you. Ridley's got his bow.
Yeah, No Shields kind of has more of Dark World explored at this point. They're deeper in, but Flip Heel does still need to fight Dragon at some point.
Yeah, and it also depends on who, what checks has No Shields done that Regrets&All maybe just doesn't do. Got some missiles in the dig game. So Ridley is going for that sword. I believe that'll be his tempered sword. Stumpy's got the fire rod.
What else do we need? A hammer?
Just the hammer.
Just the hammer.
And it's important here that I think with that fire rod knowledge, AG is about to get, he's got his bow and he's about to get his bombos. Regrets&All is going to know that any hammer locked location is out.
Actually, maybe Nightwolf has a little bit more Dark World cleared than Flip Heel does. But the Smith chain could be important. Unless Nightwolf already did that. I missed that.
I do not believe he did. He does not have the mitts, which I think he couldn't do the Smith.
Oh no, No Shield's got a shield. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I can't help but notice that both members of that team have shields, and just a heart on the Smiths.
So shields, just having shields in general does generally cause extra lag. So it's ideal not to get any, but it can kind of save you from taking a bit of damage around like projectile throwing enemies. There aren't that many of them though. It is nice against blind though. For a fireball shield at least. I heard that apparently it was disproven that the mirror shield actually, it was believed for a long time that mirror shield was would cause additional lag in addition to the like more so than the other shields, but that particular tidbit was actually disproven. It turned out that NMG runners typically get the mirror shield late in the game when they have more heart containers, and that's actually what causes the additional lag, not the mirror shield itself. But the mirror, having a regular shield at all will still cause a bit of lag.
I believe that was a book on the purple chest. I'm a wimp. I like shields. I'll take a little bit of lag. Uh-oh, AG taking a
Yeah,
death.
it's understandable.
Oh, he was death warping. Maybe out of Hera, although you have the mirror AG.
Well, death warping does kind of reset your health to usually a better state. If you're low on health, that kind of it could benefit you just to get more.
Sure. Either tablet has a red rupee. Womp womp. I'm old, so really anything that slows down the game, I'm in favor for.
Fair enough.
And we're going to find out what that item in Hera is in the big chest. It's an energy tank.
Nice.
So that hammer could be in Eastern, could be in Desert, could be in Pod. Unlikely to be in Swamp Palace, but could be. There's, I think, one check the hammer can be in Swamp Palace.
We see an ocarina on Moldorm today. It's nice, but not required.
Yeah, it's early enough, I would imagine, that all the runners will activate that
Yeah.
when they get it.
It'll be nice, quick access to Eastern and Ice Palace.
Especially with the boots. Can somebody in chat, where was Charge Beam?
I believe it was Hookshot Cave. Oh, Skullwood's big key chest. So the middle of Skullwoods. Okay.
I would imagine all of our runners will find that.
No, Ancient Gamer, your flute. I've definitely forgotten to activate flute when walking all the way over here for Dark World access before. They
He
could
might
just
be-
mirror from Thieves Town afterwards, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is he might do it right when he goes to Thieves Town. Oop, we got more dancing Samuses. We're gonna
And a
need
Chozo ghost.
We're gonna need to talk to the judges. I think this may be a little too many Samuses. Is this allowed?
Well, you know, just in case like you need extra lives. I had some trouble in Lower Norfair, you never know.
This is as good a time as any to remind folks to please do follow our runners. They're the ones putting on the show for us, and if we had no runners, we'd have no tournaments to watch, and then what would we do with our lives?
Oh no.
I mean that non-sarcastically. I spend all day watching SpeedGaming. So please do go and follow all four of these guys. They're doing a great job. Please give our two trackers a follow as well. That's Epi37 and Sandra's316. They're doing an awesome job tracking. And follow my co-com, Jagger G. He's doing a great job too.
Oh, thanks. I'm trying. And give Eleanor Lamb a follow as well.
I
They're
never
trying
stream,
as well.
so I won't spam you, but I appreciate it. Thank you. It's funny how Ancient Gamer and Ridley are basically mirroring each other's routes. Interesting that I guess Nightwolf doesn't know how to Harapot. Since we know that big key is just an energy tank.
And they, oh yeah, I guess with boots and hookshot, this is a pretty common play. They may just want to take a bathroom break. I don't know.
That's fair. It's an hour and 45 minutes.
This is as good a time as any for a player to get up and stretch and stuff. I know some players will actually intentionally come down here just like at some middle point in their run in general. And we see they are just taking the time to kind of decompress and whatnot. It's actually although it does cost a bit of time, it is pretty important psychologically for tournament runners to just feel rested and good throughout the run.
Especially in a long game like this where, I mean, we've got at least probably another hour.
Typically, yeah.
And Flip Heel's about to get his fire rod. So he's in hammer mode. So both teams are in hammer mode.
So Nightwolf hitting the orb dude down the hole, but wants to make sure to finish the job and jumps down the hole with them. Good work. They are now dispatched.
That'd be pretty awesome if when you fell down a hole, if the enemies that fell
Yeah.
down the hole were there too. One of the advantages to being in hammer mode is you know that whatever that chest is in Thieves Town that you're orphaning, you don't care because it can't be the hammer.
Yeah, true.
Flip Heel's gonna check out the Bombo's tablet, and it is just a heart piece. So the book was pretty much a red herring. So Regrets and All can save some time if they skip that Smith chain. That said, I kind of expect Ancient Gamer to do it.
Yeah, that was a real close call on Nightwolf's side. Dealing with Moldar, managing to stay out of that middle hole with some quick reflexes. It's you can see some pretty good saves by these players.
It's a little surprising to me. We have not found any mail as far as I'm aware of.
True.
I'm reminded of that because AG almost died to blind.
That'll happen. I think AG is probably going to want to get their... I don't know where they're going right now. They need Ice Rod from the north side of Dark World, and their Fire Rod from the south side of Dark World. They don't need it like urgently right now, but looking like they're going to Castle. Interesting.
I don't know what's in here.
I presume they don't know either, which is
No, one of them definitely. One of them did the castle right at the beginning. Okay. Which by one of them, I assume it would be Nightwolf, since obviously you wouldn't go back to check something you got.
And they could go to. They could drop down from Sync as well. Magic Powder, that makes sense. That's fair enough.
Oh, and he saved his mirror portal in town. Smart. Or
Does
I guess
that
he
work
didn't save
with the saving quit? I don't know.
Maybe not.
We'll see in a second.
Oh,
it does. Nice. I couldn't remember. That's real solid play.
Yeah, that's smart thinking.
I guess I don't think it does in vanilla. It's interesting it works here.
I hope nobody was really dying to find out what was in hammer pegs, because we're not gonna know.
No, hammer for go mode. Who cares? Could be a male.
Could be a gravity suit.
X-ray, not quite what they wanted to see. it doesn't really put anything in logic, but if you like toggling items, sometimes while you're running, you'll just accidentally trigger X-ray and stop.
Yeah, X-ray this late's a bit of a bummer. I love microwaving bad guys.
Absolutely. It works on Dragon, on Baltoon, on Fantoon, and even on the red key hunters. If you have Plasma Beam, you could just you could dispatch them pretty quickly with X-ray. And the side hoppers, I presume.
Alright, and that's Mothula down for Nightwolf, just gets the
Metal
map.
Pirates, nice.
So if you're paying attention, you may notice that Flipio and Nightwolf took the same number of hits on Mothula. That's because in the base game, the Gold Sword actually does no damage to Mothula. That has been patched so the Gold Sword does Tempered Sword damage in this in the randomizers.
Mm-hmm. It's basically treated as a tempered sword during the fight. So if you use a spin slash, it won't do any damage. But if you use regular slashes with butter sword, it'll just do tempered damage.
Just 5 arrows capacity is the second item in Skullwoods. I'd like to see Ancient Gamer while he's down here with this chest. Just go ahead and dip in a swamp. Check that first item.
Get the feeling Nightwolf kind of wanted to go to Pod, but then realized they don't have Hammer. Might as well just finish Eastern while they're here. Oh, but Flippy will do an Ice Palace. I kind of like this play. Although they don't have Hammer, so maybe I don't like it anymore.
That's what I was going to ask you, is where do you think this hammer is?
Well, it's definitely not in Swamp Palace in the first chest. It would never be there.
That's my guess. I'm definitely going with Swamp Palace.
It might be there.
Oh, somebody checked Swamp and I missed it?
Ooh, okay.
I'm so disappointed in myself.
Yeah, like I said, it's definitely not in Swamp, so it's probably here in Ice Palace. SP Ridley actually going into Pod. They're kind of splitting the difference here.
I think that's a smart play. This game loves to be trolly, and what's more trolly than Hammer and Pod? Which is where I said it would be all along.
Of course.
Has Flipio checked the, oh, there's Blue Mail and Ice. Has Flipio checked, the Big Bomb? I don't think so, but, I'm apparently blind. And by that I mean I hang out in a cell in the basement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think they have. There's a Pyramid Ferry check available once they clear Desert and Skullwoods, which Flipio is the only one who can do right now.
Oh right, and he just cleared Skullwoods, so...
Oh, ew. Hammer on Pyramid Ferry would be interesting. Yeah, as chat says, Hammer on Pyramid Ferry would be logically required Aghanim. They have the tools to do it. There is a bomb glitch where you could duplicate the bomb by screen transitioning as the timer hits 0. I don't know exactly what frame it is. I don't know if it's when it explodes or when the timer itself hits 0. There, I think there's a bit of a delay. So there are kind of setups for it, but not many players have really taken the time to learn them.
Well, Armros had nothing of note. Nightwolf might be making that swamp check. Oh, nope, I think he was thinking Big Bomb, and no, he hasn't done Desert.
This is a little rough for No Shields, actually having to dive Ice Palace without Hammer, because if it's not here, this is a double dip, and this is a pretty lengthy check.
Yeah, it's certainly, you're right there. It is not quick to double dip Ice.
And not only is like just clearing the dungeon pretty slow, but also actually having to go in again and go mode the dungeon is also pretty slow. So this is unfortunately double the Ice Palace for them.
Yep, it is not Ice. So where does Flip head next? Meyer?
So I think that Ice Palace play bit them a little bit, but if the hammer is in fact in pod, Ridley's going to be getting it pretty soon. So this is going to put them back in the game pretty much.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where Nightwolf is heading. He might be headed to pod himself.
Likely. Yeah. I'd rather do pendant pod than incompletable crystal ice.
Yeah, with like how you said, it takes so long to double dip Ice. I think I would have done pendant pod first. AG doing Spike Cave, I believe. Wait, no, he can't do Spike Cave.
Thankfully, it will not be there.
Nope, he's gonna check either and get his. I think that was a heart piece. Screw Attack is the first item in Meyer. Would have been fantastic, you know, an hour and 45 minutes ago.
So Meyer only has 2 items. There are several chests, but if the items are early, this may be a fairly quick check. I still think pod is the more likely play, but we'll see. It could also still be Pyramid Fairy. Ancient Gamer also diving into Ice Palace. Although with Nightwolf in pod right now, if it is in pod, AG will be able to bail out as soon as that's found.
I think that what I would have liked, if, you know, it's easy for me to make these decisions because I'm not racing, but instead of dipping Ice, it might have been worth it for Flip to go do Dragon.
Yeah, true.
Just a Quake medallion,
All
so
right.
that is Screw Attack and Quake in Meyer. It's not Meyer.
That wasn't so bad a check. They didn't have to go through the big key chest wait for the wall to move. The 14-second shake.
And Ridley found it in pod. He's got
Ooh.
the hammer marked, so and he was in pod, so it must have been in pod.
And Flipheel immediately fluting to the opposite side of the world, which is their quickest Dark World access, unfortunately.
So Nightwolf will have his hammer very shortly. Pod Turtle Room.
Nice. So very shortly, yeah. Ancient Gamer will be bailing out very shortly.
Like I said, hammer and pod, 100%. Troll game likes to troll. Yep, and AG immediately pieced out of ice like you said he would, and he flutes to the pod portal and then says, oh yeah, I don't have a hammer.
Mm-hmm. That'll happen. That happens a lot. So Team No Shield's gotten go mode first. What was it, like a minute earlier? Although Ancient Gamer and Nightwolf on Team Regrets&All may have a bit more completed. They have the same number of dungeons, but Ridley needs to flute over to Desert, enter Mire, and then mirror into Desert. Whereas Ancient Gamer can just mirror out from Pod to go into Eastern. I guess that's about the same. But also Flipeel needing to deal with Dragon as well is probably gonna just even out their what looks like a lead.
Yeah, it's also worth pointing out too that the team on the right, No Shields, has Plasma. It's also worth noting that Nightwolf does not have the silver arrows, which may make a difference on Ganon. He's got Butter Sword, so that's not too many spins.
Sure.
But that could be a difference in execution.
Where were those silvers?
Billy Mays, if I recall correctly.
Yes. Okay, they're probably never getting that, yeah. It's definitely not worth. There are so many factors. It's all down to execution at this point.
Yeah, this is going to be a really close finish. Do you think either of these teams feels good about their position?
Absolutely not. No. They both had to dive Ice Palace. They had a bit of... at least Ancient Gamer had a bit of hiccups with Lower Norfair. On the right side, Team No Shields, it kind of had a bit of routing incorrectness. Not really like poor decision making per se, but they just their routing didn't work out for them so well. So at this point, I think they're just going to do the best that they can and hope it's good enough.
Yep, Nightwolf just has Ice Palace and Total Rock to do now.
And they should both feel confident. They've played pretty well in this match, and they don't know it, but they're pretty much even.
Yeah, I agree with your assessment. I think that they both should feel. I mean, you're always going to feel behind and bad, but I don't think any of them made any checks that are just like, oh, we really wasted our time doing that. Aside from the Ice Palace dip. And just a reminder for anyone who might have tuned in, it is the last runner on the team to finish determines the team's time. So both runners need to finish, and it's whoever that second place finisher is that's going to determine. So we're not really necessarily interested in who is ahead on the team. We're interested in who's in the second place for each of the teams and how those two folks compare. So Nightwolf, I think, is pretty clearly ahead of AG.
And I'd say Ridley is ahead of Flip Heel, perhaps, just because the dungeon layout that they have, or the crystal layout that they have, is pretty quick dungeons in general. They do both need to deal with Ice Palace and Turtle Rock, but the crystals that Flip Heel has over Ridley just kind of... Actually, they're even now. Ridley just catching up right now, like seconds behind him.
Right, but Flip still needs Dragon, so I think that,
Exactly,
it's really, at this point, it's a race between Flip Heel and AG.
Yeah, that took me a minute, but yeah. Definitely wondering if Nightwolf's gonna wind up finding... probably won't find the plasma beam, but
I don't think I could tell you.
I think they have enough ammo though.
I'm not sure who's ahead between AG and Flip Heel. I think AG's a little bit ahead, but I don't think it's a lot.
I'd say so. It's really tough because AG does still need to get the hammer and then go into and full clear, or, well, not full clear, but actually beat Eastern, which isn't like super short, but it's pretty short.
He does already have the big key, so that's one thing. I don't remember
Yeah,
if
that's
the
true.
big key
He's
was
the
on
one
the way
that
or not.
And they just need 2 small keys. Just going through right side, interesting. That makes sense that you save a key going this way, even if there is a key on the left side. It doesn't really make much difference if you're going to use it right away.
And blink if you missed it, but Flip Heel's already at Dragon. How come Samus doesn't save the baby Dragons?
She feeds them. She gives them a nice buffet.
So there's a problem with the right side first play. No hammer in pod. So was that quicker? Maybe that was the only way to get through pod. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know if the left side had a key.
Ice Beam was in Eastern Palace, yeah, for chat who was asking.
So they are all gonna have Ice Beam. They all already do, yeah.
And I think now that Flip Heel has done Dragon, I think that I think he's in the lead between Ancient Gamer and him.
A little bit, yeah. Getting potentially supers down here in Dark Rupee Room, I assume? No? Okay. You want to make sure with your partner where those supers are. Although they have Charged Beam and Ice Beam, and they know where Spazer is, I guess AG isn't going to be going to get Spazer. So they're just going to have to rely on supers for damage. And the Charged Ice Beam just does not do very much. Does 90 versus the Super Missile's 300.
Yeah, so AG is about an Eastern Palace behind, which that's not an insignificant amount.
Nightwolf must have Charged Beam. If they were the first ones in Skull Woods.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has charge. Yep, we never saw Wave Beam. It's probably in GT.
Wave Beam would be a nice increase to damage for the beam. So you don't quite need so many supers. You still want as many as you can get going into the fight.
Alright, that's almost down for Ancient Gamer.
And we'll see here if Ridley tugs paw for good luck on Turtle Rock. Unfortunate.
Never seen anybody do that. Didn't know that was a thing, I gotta be honest.
So the right paw at Turtle Rock is a poultry. You can get items from it.
Oh, interesting.
There are a bunch of poultries all throughout the map. Oddly, if you beat Aghanim, the Light World poultries actually change. Most of the poultries just go away and just move to other locations. I mean, the trees are still there, but you can't pull them for stuff. And also bonking trees, instead of giving you like magic or bombs or whatever, or fairies, they just give you bees.
That's rude.
When I first played the game back as a wee lad, someone brought their Super Nintendo to school and they had it booted up there. And I ran into a tree and there was a swarm of bees and I was terrified. It was great.
That seems totally fair. I'd be terrified if I ran into a tree and a swarm of bees came out. Flip on his way to Turtle Rock. AG trying to set up the icebreaker.
Very
and
nice.
he gets it.
It's such a silly mechanic. So basically, whenever you're exiting a door, the game just kind of forces you in the direction exiting the door. If you're trying to move like perpendicular along it, it just pushes you out instead. But the game kind of it knows you're pressing up or down, not right. So it kind of gets a little funky with collision to your right. It does require you to be in a certain pixel to kind of put yourself a pixel inside the wall in the first place, and then use cane to kind of mess with your movement values. But yeah, you can just walk right through walls.
All right, chat, help me out here. So Ancient Gamer is obviously Link. Flip Heel is Zero Suit Samus. Ridley is Celes from Final Fantasy VI. Who is Nightwolf?
I believe that was Squall from Final Fantasy VIII.
What do you mean I never watched Astor or Bunny? I just watched them race. Was that last night?
They didn't tug paw. How dare they? They actually, Bunny actually went to the Dark World through the lower portal, so they weren't actually by Turtle Rock.
I think I actually fell asleep before that race ended, and I'm gonna watch the end of it tonight. So at bedtime, so that's my excuse.
Yeah, they say tug paw for good luck. Apparently they didn't need luck, so, well, rip.
Also, in the world of reminders, this is an elimination match, so whichever team finishes last is out of the tournament, so you know that they're all feeling that pressure. You know, all things considered, we went from looking for that hammer and having no crystals done to having all the crystals done and being in GT pretty darn quickly.
Yeah, that's true. There wasn't too much left to check. They basically full cleared Super Metroid, and they just had Dark World for Link to the Past. But yeah, that's a lot of items really fast.
Oh, and we didn't say anything, but it is time to guess the GT big key. Don't guess 1 to 3. So guess 4 to 22. I always guess 23.
Well, if we go by Price is Right rules, maybe 1 wouldn't be such a bad play. So someone guessed 2 just to trump it.
I wish I remembered the race, but it was a few years ago in the Link to the Past tournament. It was actually number 23, and I completely I don't remember how
Nice.
I don't remember how that came to be, but
They probably got boots somewhere, and it was on, or Kane or something somewhere, and like a fetch quest to get Kane or something. That makes sense. There it is, chest number 8. We did it. Deathle Room for the win.
that was chest number 8. Congratulations! I think you win the game. You get internet points.
Yay.
That's, I think, bad news for Regrets&All. I think that they really needed the key to be somewhere where AG could get to it quickly, but it would take a long time for everyone else to find. So, like Tile Room. Because the only time he'll be able to save is going to Hope Room, which isn't much of a time save. Well, I guess he can skip the top 4.
I feel like Tile Room has been severely nerfed. I've never seen it in my playthroughs. My co-op partner saw it like the other day, but it's pretty few and far between, it seems. And there was that infamous GDQ showcase.
It's also it's so rare to see it on the torch too. Ridley's about to get his big key. AG getting some hugs from the chain chomps. Don't recommend that.
They're cute though.
They are pretty cute. I think I'm gonna get a chain chomp for my house.
Very effective guard dogs.
Keep those solicitors away. AG took all the fairies.
Although if it's anything like Mario 3, they do break loose after like 3 minutes. Yeah, unfortunately, this Bombos medallion play, although very safe and very easy, it is significantly slower than something like tempered spins or fire rod on pokies, and they may employ that on the way up the gauntlet as well, which is again safe and easy, but a little bit slower. You could use Ether on the Stalfos. It is a quicker animation than Bombos.
We got Nightwolf just finishing up his tower climb. Zapeel just starting his. Ridley in the middle. It always seems like to me Ganon's tower gets bigger the higher up you go.
I don't know. I always thought it got smaller. Like the map size at least shrinks little by little, but I guess the screen size maybe.
It's been so long since I've seen the map of GT, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, through this gauntlet, you kind of take like S turns through like 4x4 tiles, and then like 3x3 tiles, and then 2x2 tiles.
Nightwolf taking on Moldworm 2. Gonna be easy with the Butter Sword. Commentator curse incoming. Whew, dodged a bullet. AG's got Trinex just about dead.
Yep, 5 tempered slashes or a spin and 3 slashes, and down goes Trinex.
Ridley takes out his Moldworm 2.
What is the 4th sword AG skipped?
The one on the floating island, I believe.
Wow, surprising.
Yeah, this is really shaping up to be an extremely tight finish between Nightwolf, Flip, and Ridley. We've got Ridley and Nightwolf both on Aga 2. That was a nice double there on Ridley's side. Wow, that was a real nice shot there on Ridley's side. That's some fantastic agonometry. Ancient Gamer just entering GT.
Yeah, I feel like I think the pivotal point of this seed was after Waterway, where they were still looking for items. I think well, I guess both teams kind of kind of tried to divide and conquer. They were both still looking for go mode, but a crucial a crucial strategy in co-op tournaments is that you kind of gotta identify late in the game who is behind, and ideally you would have them play catch up while the person in the lead does all the checks.
Yeah, it's hard for me to point to any one decision and say that's what's probably caused Regrets&All.
I think it's just that general concept that I think both teams kind of could have done better on this race, but it's just it hurt Regrets&All a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll see how much time Flipio and Ridley can catch up here with Nightwolf having to do spins. Oh boy, don't die, Nightwolf. It's amazing. 3 runners on Ganon. That's tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic race.
That was a good triple from Ridley on the bottom right.
Please do take the time to follow our runners. Like I said, this has been a really fantastic race, and they really deserve your guys' follows. I'll give one more shout out to our fantastic trackers tonight that were SandRiz316 and Epi37. They did an awesome job keeping everybody in the know as to what's going on. Give them a follow and give my co-com Jagger G a follow. We've got Nightwolf just coming in a little bit behind Ridley.
Wow, yeah, that is some sync. It's sword raised at the same time, so these players are going to be saving and quitting, and just to be on the safe side, you don't strictly have to save and quit to go back to Super Metroid. The game does kind of soft save that you've beaten Ganon whenever you enter the Triforce room, so you don't have to refight that. But without a save and quit, it may forget what items you got since your last save. So by saving and quitting, they make sure everything's saved.
And it looks like I see 70 missiles and 55 supers on Nightwolf.
And since this is basically a singular game, just both games are mashed into a single file, it does place you in Super Metroid when you boot up the game. So a reset will just take you back to Super Metroid, and if you don't have a Super Metroid save point, it just defaults to the ship. Ridley just poking the Metroids with a super before it's frozen. Poking their belly. And I know Team Regrets and All do tend to watch the race chat pretty closely as they're approaching the finish, so they'll be stressing out during this whole escape sequence. Oh, Ridley actually kind of skipping over that dead Chozo statue, or that chorizo.
No baby skip for Ridley.
Yeah, Ridley and the baby have a canonical history.
Fair enough.
And Moldorm on the left side doing a little dance in the corner. Get a lot of dancing in Ancient Gamers stream. Be sure to give them a follow if you're into that.
If you give him a follow, we might know about it.
Yeah, that's something we usually tell our runners not to have alerts pop up over the game feed. But
We'll give Ancient Gamer a stern talking to later.
and or dancing too. Nah, it's all good. SP Ridley actually dealing with the Zebtites with super missiles. I'm not sure. Well, they do have charged ice plasma, but I would have preferred to keep those supers for the fight.
Yeah, that's an odd choice, because I would think just plain old missiles would have been faster anyways.
I do believe super missiles are faster DPS. It's just, I don't know. I guess it doesn't make a difference whether you use them on the Zebtites or the Mother Brains. Still going to save time regardless. And you're pretty much guaranteed if you're shooting point blank shots at the Zebtites that they're going to hit. So that makes sense in retrospect. So yeah, maybe that was the better play. Meanwhile, Nightwolf just entering the fight as well with even more ammo may actually finish first out of the 4 runners.
We've got AG on Ganon, who's in a potion.
This was a really good match considering I have inside information that Ancient Gamer actually was running on 2.5 hours of sleep. So a pretty solid performance considering.
Wow, that's rough.
Baby, let's go of Ridley first. Looks like Nightwolf will be starting phase 3 shortly after. Maybe about 20 seconds difference. I don't know. Although standing back and shooting the rainbow beam does cause more lag in general. Ridley does actually scoot up a little bit closer to reduce that lag, so this is good.
And AG making his way to Turian. And we've got Nightwolf and Ridley on their escapes. So it looks like Ridley is queuing up to be first. Do you think Ridley saves the animals?
Could be.
I mean, I gotta
Possible.
admit, it doesn't seem like the kind of thing Super Metroid Ridley would do.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Do we really know Ridley's true motive for kidnapping the baby? Maybe they just didn't want the baby to be tested on. Maybe it was like a moral decision to just take the baby out of Sears and kill all the humans.
I mean, that seems as believable as anything else.
Yeah, there we go. Ridley, a real, not humanitarian, and
Metroidarian.
animatarian? All right.
He's a Metroidarian.
Animal rights activist.
Did Ridley just tease saving the animals? I stopped looking away for a minute.
No, they were saved.
Excellent.
And with that, Nightwolf finishes first with an official time of 2:37:20, and Ridley right after the time of 2:37:39.
Man, that's crazy.
At the very least, had Team No Shield sweating, that's for sure. And Flip Heel finishing with a time of 2:37:55. That was a really close, really well timed, really well coordinated effort on their part.
Yep.
And Ancient Gamer unfortunately forfeits with external factors just kind of pressuring him to finishing up early. So GG's to all the runners. And we have Nightwolf, we have Ridley, we got Flip Heel. How are you all doing?
The adrenaline is still pumping.
That was close. That was a nail biter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazingly close race. Nice job, guys.
Thanks.
Like halfway through, we knew it was going to be a close race. Y'all were basically getting that Mitz location pretty like a minute apart. How did you feel about that one?
That was funny.
That was definitely something.
After already just resigning to your Dark World access being Meridia, then immediately your partner finds the Mitz right behind you. Pretty solid. So how do you let's start with the after that. How did you guys feel about like splitting up the Dark World checks? Because that was pretty much all that was left, and you had so much missing in Link to the Past.
Yeah, it was difficult to split because I was the first one in Link to the Past for our team. So I had to make the decision on how to route the start of it. And then when AG found the gauntlets, or Titan Smiths, excuse me, he decided to rush Dark Death Mountain, which led to all the other stuff. So we kind of had this back and forth there where I was trying to figure out what exactly I should do. Also, before I forget, for those that don't know, AG was running on about 2.5 hours of sleep when we did this seed, as well as he had to do some pretty intense physical labor today. That's why he's not doing an interview.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We did notice that in the race chat.
Yeah, he thought we'd canceled because there was an Ocarina of Time Scrubs qualifier today that I was wanting to try and do. But because we couldn't get schedules to line up, I just passed on the qualifier. But he didn't know that till about 3 hours before the race.
Oh, oof.
Ouch.
All things considered, though, you all played pretty well. Even Ancient Gamers had that hiccup in Lower Norfair, but it wasn't that bad. All things like saving down there with 68 health was really dangerous, but you got through it.
Yeah,
only took a couple of tries.
Oh,
I have to give him a shout out for that. He didn't tilt.
How that ended up happening?
I mean,
yeah,
Lower
sorry.
Norfair on low tanks, it's hard.
Yeah,
Reminds me of the last race I did when I did that. Yeah, that's not fun.
yeah. One thing that I could have done better is as soon as I got Various Suit, I should have just went straight to Norfair. But instead, I
maybe.
went and cleared all of Brinstar first and found absolutely nothing besides a sword.
Yeah, our early route was good, but it felt awkward too because Ridley found all the suits, and then I think after I did the basic loop, I did the mountain. So pretty much we knew everything had to be in Meridia or Norfair, minus like Sick Kid, which we had a. I was like, Ridley, you have to do the bottle check. It's like 4 screen transitions. I'm not doing it, but yeah. Other than that, we pretty much knew it had to be down there, so we were pretty much following each other for a good while.
It was pretty funny because like Flip was saying, we both went to Lower Norfair and we both full cleared then. And then Flip was like, dude, you gotta go check that bottle. I'm like, God, fine. At least go check Waterway while I'm doing this. And I was like, and I sit there and I said, well, I was checking the bottle. I was like, okay, but I'm gonna go right to Meridia when there's nothing here.
Yep.
Nightwolf, did you guys mean to orphan Ice Rod Cave?
Yes, that was a decision that AG suggested because we knew we had before we even really knew anything about the seed. We had gravity, we had high jump, we had space jump. We knew we were looking for a morph ball, and Flip Hill and Ridley are both great runners, so like we have to take some risks, and that was one of the things that AG suggested we do because it's so far out of the way. So we went with that, and basically what we were trying to do was we was trying to get me into Super Metroid just as fast as possible.
Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but that turned out to be the plasma beam.
Yeah, it didn't necessarily bite you, but yeah.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate.
It is what it is. We ended up, AG had like 65-45. I had 70-55 going into Mother Brain, so I had fired maybe like 4 or 5 charge shots.
Yeah, you had an option later on, basically after you pretty much full cleared Super Metroid, to mirror and check that coming out of Meridia, but
To be
at that
honest,
point, Plasma wasn't going to help that much.
I didn't even think about it. I was like, okay, how can I route this as efficient as possible to make this easier to get us both on the left side, Dark World?
Yeah, and then the our Dark World routing would have actually been really sick. So like, I went to the mountain, and Ridley was gonna, since he didn't have the Mitch, he was gonna exit Meridia, and then he was gonna do like pod area while he was there. But then I don't know if he didn't have the old man rescued, and I found
I
the
did
bow,
not have
so
the
it
old man
changed.
rescued.
Yeah. Otherwise, he would have found the hammer early, but maybe it worked out anyway because it did allow us not to do a lot of hammer checks. So
Yeah.
And that I feel like that must have been a Hail Mary play to dive into Ice Palace without the hammer.
Yeah.
On both of your sides. Unfortunately, both of you did wind up going into Ice Palace without hammer. And No Shield's actually pretty much full cleared ice before getting it. AG went most of the way into ice, but Nightwolf was already in pod, and it was able to mirror out as soon as it was found.
Yep. I got to give a shout out to all the people that talk about following logic. Because if you watch the VOD back, there's a point there where I agonized back and forth between doing pod or doing swamp. And I decided to chase the bow. And that ended up working out in our favor.
Nice. Was there a key on the left side? I forgot.
Isn't bad either because it's only one check if you don't have the hammer. So
Sure. Yeah, that was an interesting play as well. So I did notice AG did have to go to the right side to get a small key and then mirror out because we don't have the hammer by that point. So I guess you needed the small key from the right side to advance?
Yeah. It was bow locked. And that whole time, we're having a discussion. He's like, where's my other key? And I'm like, I told you where 2 keys are. And he's like, but I need one more. I'm like, no, you don't.
Oh, did he never blow open the wall to get the other one?
I didn't remember if that was a key or not. I told him where the one where you drop off the bridge was.
Yeah,
He
there
thought,
were 2 keys on the right side, yeah.
he thought it was a crystal.
Oh, that's...
Yeah. That makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because you need 1 key to beat the dungeon, but you don't need to beat the dungeon, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, all in all, I'm not particularly upset with how we done, especially considering we came in the night after the 3rd qualifier was done. That's when we decided we were entering this tournament.
Oh.
Yeah, solid performance throughout.
Yeah, I'm not upset. We'd have won our first game if we'd played more aggressive. We played too safe. And I feel like that's what helped us win our next match and also keep this one close.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, GG all.
GG.
GG. Yeah, this was fun. This was exciting. I was like, I knew it was gonna be close. Like I like when no one had finished it, Ridley, I was just like, I just knew they had to be like right there. Like, were we behind? Were we gonna get sniped? Like,
yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna hop out of here. Actually, I do want to say one closing thing. Because not a whole lot of people in the community follow me, but for those that do care, I'm going to start moving over to Ocarina of Time Randomizer, like I was talking about with the Scrubs qualifier. That's something I've been really interested in. I think AG is slowly moving towards more Hollow Knight.
That's awesome, too.
But thanks. Y'all have a great night.
Good luck to
you as well.
Thanks.
Yeah, y'all definitely give them a follow. They put on a real good show throughout the tournament. Unfortunately, they are now eliminated. So, Flip Hill and SP Ridley, how are y'all feeling going forward?
I went into this tournament wanting to at least win one. So winning 2 is great. If we can win
Right.
any more, that's swell. But if not, it's okay. So
Like, we
I'm more
did
of a
good.
Zelda player, and but I learned a lot while definitely picked up some stuff. So it's been fun. I love co-op. What about you, Ridley?
Well, I knew going into last week that we were not going to beat Aussie, so I knew that we were going to lose at least one. But I am super stoked that we won this one, and even if we lose the next one, you know what? I feel like we did good. Like, we've done good so far, so I got no regrets.
I mean, you've made it, fairly deep in the tournament. So I mean, you guys. I mean, I definitely think you should be. I wouldn't count you guys out.
Yeah, that was. It's so great to see all these runners are steadily improving as the tournament goes on, and it's been awesome seeing people learn as they go. So, any other thoughts?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for the comms, the restreams, the tracking, all that
Right,
stuff.
thanks everybody that was
So
tracking.
always a pleasure to be on SpeedGaming of all places too. So
Right.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Huge thanks to our trackers, Epi and Sanders, for keeping us informed, and the chat for correcting us constantly. It's been a it's been a time. And huge thanks for Speed Gaming and all the volunteers for putting on this show. And thanks for Eleanor Lamb for joining me on comms.
Yep, and a big thanks to Jagger G for joining me on comms. Really didn't want to do this by myself.
All right. And thanks everyone. And I'll give Eleanor Lamb a final word.
All right, I just want to remind everybody that there are more races scheduled this week. Tomorrow night at 8:40 Eastern, we've got Surely We Are Serious, which is Flak Attack and Sinus against Fire Rodlocked, which is F. Coughlin and Lachlan. Wednesday at 8:10 Eastern, we've got EG to Aga, which is Omniflash and Stashio. That's not right. I think I've got the names wrong.
The
It's
slashes
vertical.
mean something else.
Yeah, so it's Omniflash and Madbo versus Chicago Bullies, which is Stashio Cat and Eddie. And then we've got a late
correct.
Yep, and then we got a late night game also on Wednesday at 11:10 p.m. Eastern, which is Young Chaos and Poor Life Choices. So plenty more tournament coming up. Please tune in and check it out. And thanks everybody for listening, and I hope everybody has a good night.
See you next mission.